Joining us. My name is Matthew Hiller. I'm the Director of Bands at Smith Middle School just down the road here in Cleveland, and I have the honor of serving as our TMEA Region 30 Middle School Band Coordinator. A few thank yous before we get started. First, we want to thank all of the parents. If you are a parent of a student seated on stage, we are so blessed that you do all of the things that you do to make sure that your student has the socks and the shoes and the reeds and the drumsticks and everything. You get them to lessons, you get them to sectionals in the morning or after school. So let's thank all of our band parents. I also want to recognize if you are a band director or a private lesson teacher of a student seated on stage, if you'll stand right now so we can thank you. A few individuals that I want to say thank you to. We have two band directors that worked with this group this week to make sure that they had everything they needed, that our clinician had everything they needed. So our percussion organizer was TJ Emsley from Timberview Middle School. And the band organizer was Sarah Chance from Indian Springs Middle School. If you did not already, we encourage you, there's a booth right outside from TMF, and they are selling souvenir plaques and t-shirts, so I encourage you to maybe get a stocking stuffer. There were concert programs as you entered. Hopefully you got a copy of that. Your students all got a copy as well. So again, these students have worked really hard. Over the course of the last 2 days, they've put in about 8 hours of preparation and rehearsal, so a lot of hard work went into this, but not just the past 2 days. They did a lot of hard work to prepare for the auditions, and then they work every day in their own band halls and at home practicing. So lots of effort amongst these students to give all the performances that they do. So let's give it up for these students. Our clinician for this group, for our honors band, is Miss Brittin Chambers, and she comes from San Antonio. And you can read all about her in the program. She is a composer. It would be hard to find a band program in the state of Texas that doesn't play at least one of her pieces of music each year. In fact, I think we saw some information came out of UIL just the last few weeks, and she was like one of the top 7 performed composers at UIL in the entire state last year. So lots of music. It's been an honor to have her, yes. When you invite a composer to be the conductor, then you're asking them also to put some of their music on display, so you're going to get to hear several of her works. If you heard the first 2 bands, each band played a piece by her, and then this group is going to play several. So I want to invite Miss Chambers out to the stage, and I'm going to give her this plaque that says, "In appreciation for distinguished service as clinician of the All-Region Band, on behalf of the directors, parents, and students of Region 30, December 3rd, 2022, thank you to Miss Brittin Chambers."
afternoon. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our first selection. And I'm not sure if all the pieces are listed on your program or not, but that one was entitled Squirrel Chase. And yeah, for obvious reasons. And I was telling them, I like to tell them about the inspiration for lots of the pieces that I write. That one is actually brand new. And I just basically had to say, hey guys, this one's not super deep. It's not super deep. This was just, I look out these windows. I live down in San Antonio. We have a lot of live oak trees, and there are little squirrels just constantly running around being crazy. And I was like, you know what? That's my next piece, Squirrel Chase. So I hope you enjoyed it. The next one we're gonna do, well, we'll give you a different set of animals here. This is by a good friend of mine, a composer named Tyler Arcari, and this one's entitled Snake Pit. Do any of you guys have a phobia for snakes? Yeah, I don't know. I don't love them, but anyway, so we'll have a little different animal vibe here. This one's called Snake Pit. Thank you. Talk in between each piece because I know you just want to hear them play, but honestly we need time for the percussion to reset in between tunes anyway. So I'll go ahead and tell you about the next one. The next tune we're going to play is called Sun Chaser, and this is one I wrote a few years ago, and I was telling them a bit about it today, but it's influenced by a lot of things, but I really love the sun in general, and as I say, just all the energy that it always provides. But at the beginning, I think you might hear maybe something that reminds you of the sunrise and how gorgeous that can be. But there are actually some different meanings for sun chaser. So one, sometimes in aviation, they'll use that term when pilots are flying west and it looks as if the sun never sets because they're chasing it. Another meaning that has a little bit of a negative connotation to me, sometimes people will refer to someone who is trying to reach lofty goals, but oh, I don't think you're ever going to meet those goals. You're chasing the sun. You're a sun chaser. And as I told these guys, I think you should be a sun chaser in life. You know, just go for it. Because often you do reach the goals, and even if you don't, the journey is often the best part. So, without further ado, here is Sun Chaser. Thank you. The name of that one is Down on the Delta, and it's a tribute to the state of Mississippi. There was a band in Mississippi that had me write that for them. So you may have noticed it kind of has this country kind of vibe to it. And that's because Mississippi is a home to a lot of the country music, the original country music that was ever born. Charlie Pride, he calls Mississippi his home. Those of you who know who that is, I do. I know we don't all know who that is. They do. Anyway. And then the middle section it was real bluesy because Mississippi is also the home of the blues. So I didn't know if you knew that, but that's where the blues originated, was down in the Mississippi Delta. So that's called Down on the Delta. Before we play our last tune, I just had to say a couple of words. Again, we've already had introductions. I know you don't want to hear us talk forever. And I already gave these guys a little heart-to-heart talk a little while ago. But I just have to say one more time how much I've enjoyed working with these students these last couple of days. As I told them yesterday when we first started working together, I sit in front of a computer all day long and write for hours and hours, and those are the sounds that I hear coming back at me. And so every time I get to stand in front of a real band with real instruments, it's such a joy, and to really hear it coming alive and just to see the expressions on their faces. These guys have been nothing but just beautiful to work with. They've had this amazing energy. They've just, sitting on the edge of their chair, just asking me so many awesome questions. They would come up, ask me questions about composing and all kinds of things. So you guys, I just enjoyed it so much. So first of all, can we just say, I know you already know, I think they're awesome, but they really are. Can you just give them a round? And I wanted to say again, thank you to Mr. Hiller and Region 30 for inviting me to come be part of this event. When they told me, oh, it's Region 30, I was like, oh yes, I want to be there, because I know there are great musicians here, such great teaching going on. I have to say a special thanks again to Sarah Chance and TJ Emsley for taking care of the percussion and band setup. I could not have done this without their help. They were just incredible, helpful workers. And again, thank you to all the band directors in the district, because what you guys do every day in your band hall is, the nitpicky stuff that allows them to get to this level, and then just allows me to come have fun and work with them. You've put in really all the hard work. So thank you to all the band directors, and for being so kind. It was really nice to meet lots of you and make new friends this weekend as well. And last but not least, I gotta say also, thank you to the parents and the family members. I'm also a band parent. I've had 3 kids go through the band program, so I totally get it. And getting them where they're supposed to be, especially when they can't drive yet, right? Yeah, there's that. And paying for lessons and just everything, instruments. And really more than that, just your support, just encouraging them to do something in the arts. It doesn't even have to be music. I mean, I personally love music, of course, but just anything that's teaching them to just learn to enjoy beauty in the world and feel emotion and go out as they become adults and just to be very thoughtful humans. So thank you so much, parents, for all that you've done. All right, without further ado, here's our finale. This is one of my favorite pieces that I've ever written. And I think some of them like it too. Any of you guys like this one? Okay, we'll see. We'll see if you guys like it. I think it's a fun way to end. It's called Byzantine Dances. Thank you so much.